Welcome back, nerds. It's another episode of the What Are You Nerdy About podcast. Got an old friend with me and Dan. We're going to be talking a little nerd knowledge a little bit later. But just as a reminder, we do this as a part of the Nerdstalgia store. That is a shop in Colorado Springs Citadel Mall. We're open 6 days a week right now. Mondays we are closed, but open mall hours usually 11 to 8, 11 to 6 on Sundays. And come in, say hey, let us know what you're nerdy about, see what we've got. And we've got everything from physical media, so music, movies, video games, comic books. We do a lot of toys and big wrestling section and all kinds of different sci-fi, fantasy properties that you can come in and check out. Buy, sell, trade. So if you got something you want to get rid of, we'll give you better trade credit than anyone that I know about in Colorado Springs. So great way to trim down your collection and find something that you wanted to add. So we also want you to check out Dubby.gg. Dubby is a great energy supplement, so you don't want the sugary crash, you don't want jitters, maybe you're not a coffee drinker. I don't do coffee, can't stand the taste of it. Never have been. Too much of a sweet tooth. Can't do the bitter drinks. Can't do the dark beers either, man. So just not for me. So this is from the coffee plant, but not actually drinking coffee. No jitters, no sugary after crash, and much more natural than a lot of the supplements that you can put in you. They also have some really cool anime collaborations. Maybe you want a shaker or a cup that's Chainsaw Man. You can go right to their anime section and see what kind of special flavors and unique labels are made. Wash that up after you use it. Keep it on the shelf with the anime collectibles. Fun thing to have. And man, opening Nerdstalgia, there were some wild things I held on to, and you never know, man. Some of the most valuable things in my store were never meant for sale, for a resale or anything like that. They were just promotional items that grew in value. So great one to check out, and you get to use that code word Nerdstalgia, save a little bit of money, let them know that we sent you, and support the store and the channel by doing that. So Dan, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, I'm good.
Good to see your beautiful face.
Yeah, it's been we've talked here and there, but we used to hang out on the weekly multiple times, and now we see each other's faces a couple times a year. So
Yeah,
that's what life does. He's still
crazy.
living over in the Quad Cities, and I got out to the mountains, and
For
it's a
you.
great spot. But you know, I understand wanting to stick around there. Davenport's not bad. Getting a little bit of a wrestling scene back over there now too. You should take James to some wrestling matches over there, man. Seth Rollins is
Yeah,
at his school.
yeah,
Yeah, he and Becky live out there. They've got their own school, and will do indie shows and stuff. So I remember
yeah.
seeing.
And he's been doing a lot of stuff on the football too. He's been on NFL
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
Morning
with the Bears
Football a
now.
lot. So he's a big Bears fan like myself.
Yeah,
So I love seeing him up there as well.
yeah, he should be coming back by WrestleMania time too. I'm excited to see him back at it. But I saw him as Tyler Black in Scott County Wrestling. Saw him drop
Yep.
the title before he went to Ring of Honor to go try to make it on his own. So very cool.
Yeah, I didn't know him. I of course know a lot of people that know him, and then I also know even more people that said they knew him but
Yeah,
don't. But my manager I had a while ago, he was best friends with them in high school and
yeah,
all that. So he would like bring them along to like WrestleManias and like he
okay,
would have like VIP treatment and to get to see all that stuff for free basically. So it
yeah,
was like cool. So yeah, it's a small world here in the Quad Cities,
yeah,
especially if somebody makes it.
yeah. It was very cool to go to WWE event and see him in the main event after seeing him in Scott County wrestling. That was pretty
I
bad.
know.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
like
really
seeing, like,
hoping.
I remember back in the day, Fall Out Boy used to
Yeah,
play little
yeah,
shows in this area all the
yeah.
time, and then you blink and they're like super huge. And I was like, I used to see those guys for free with like 10 other people.
And the whole time I lived in the Quad Cities, there wasn't much of anything for concerts without driving to Iowa City, or
Yep,
Chicago.
yep.
So there really wasn't much of a scene, and the wrestling scene was starting to die off. But hey, all kinds of ways to keep us entertained. So you're nerdy about things. You found things to keep you entertained. What are we
Oh
going to
yeah.
talk about tonight? What are you nerdy about, Dan?
Oh man, I am so a nerd about Star Wars. I mean,
Yeah,
who
yeah, I've
isn't,
known
right?
that
Though,
about you.
let's be honest. You
Yeah,
did? Yeah, I thought so.
yeah.
I almost wore
Well,
my Boba Fett hat, but I went with my Cubs black since
okay.
baseball season starts soon.
Yeah, I I was trying to cover the variety of topics for the show, and the people that I've had on here, nobody's brought up Star Wars. One guy that did bring up Star Wars, he told me he was too camera shy to do an episode with me. So I said, you
Oh
know
yeah.
what? I know somebody who can talk some Star Wars. They may not be in Colorado, but we can do this episode.
Well, I'm glad you thought of me second.
Yeah. Well, I thought of people local,
Right.
and he wanted to do Star Wars. And when he said he couldn't do it, then I'm like, well, you were the first one I thought of. So
Well, he's going to see this and be like, well, I can do that. I can do better than that. Hippie.
yeah. Well, if he wants to do the episode after that, I'm sure we can cover other things. I'm sure he has his other reasons why he's nerdy about it. So,
Yeah. I mean, if you're nerdy about one thing, you're nerdy about a lot of things.
oh yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
So Star Wars. When did you first experience Star Wars, and which Star Wars
Oh,
did you experience?
oh my goodness. I was trying to think about when I first saw Star Wars. My earliest memory was literally, and I think it was my dad taped it off of TV,
Yeah, you had
back
to
in the
do
old
back then,
days.
man. Yeah,
Yeah. On the
Fast Forward
VHS.
commercials.
Yeah, but he was trying to be Steven Spielberg. He was trying to edit out the commercials
Oh
and all
yeah,
that stuff, but he
yeah,
never like came back on time. So there was for years and years until like it came out, like when they
yeah,
released on VHS, where like I never saw that part of Star Wars because he was like 10 minutes late coming back in from
yeah.
a commercial or something like that. So
Plus, they're
that
edited
was
down
yeah,
for TV, so there's a lot of parts you didn't see
that's
because of that too.
there's that too. Yeah, I may have
Probably
never
them
seen
into
the
full
golden
frame, and
bikini.
yeah,
Yeah,
uh,
sure.
yeah,
That's a lot to cut out though. That movie, I'm not sure. That'd be interesting to see these days. But
yeah.
yeah, man, and I mean, God, I can't remember how old I was. I mean, this is obviously the mid '90s. I must have been, maybe in the 6, 7, 8 range.
Okay.
And man, it was just cool. What's not to love? We got laser swords and spaceships and dogfights and
Yeah,
romance and drama. Like, oh, man, it's so good.
it is something that I think if you experience as a child, man, it'll stick with you your whole life because it's this whole galaxy that has similarities to ours, but so many differences. And I'm actually going through and watching the Star Wars films with my friend Victoria, and she's never watched all of them. And she's watched different ones that when her kids would be into them, or they'd go to the theater to see this one, but she really wasn't paying attention. She really didn't care. Well, now she's best friends with a nerd, and I'm like, well, if you need to understand my stuff, like we need to watch these. So we've been friends for like 14 years, and we've never sat down and watched Star Wars. So I'm like,
Yeah.
it's time. And we're watching them in the Tarantino order. Have I told you about Tarantino order?
You have not, but I heard you talk about it in your other podcast,
Yeah.
and when you said that, I was like, that is awesome. That is
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah. So for those that haven't heard the other podcast where I mention it, you watch the original Star Wars that I refuse to call A New Hope. You watch Empire Strikes Back, and it's okay to say spoiler alert and give you time when a movie's old enough to drink. It's over 21 years old, so you've had your time. We find out that Darth is Luke's father at the end of Empire. Then you rewind. You go learn Darth's backstory. You watch episode 1, 2, and 3. Then you watch the showdown of Luke versus Vader in The Last Jedi, or The Return of the Jedi. Sorry. Too many titles in my head. Um, but yeah, it's a fun way to watch it. And yeah, I had that recommended to me one time, and I'm like, yes, that is how I watch the OG6 from now on.
Yeah, no kidding. That's amazing. Where did you
Yeah.
first hear that? Is that
Some
like
online forum, I'm sure.
oh, it's just called Tarantino didn't come up with it. It's just
No,
because
no,
it
no,
jumps back
because
and forth in the
Tarantino jumps
stories.
all around,
Yep.
and you see
Hmm.
this, and then you get the backstory, and then if you've seen Pulp Fiction or Hateful Eight, you see his movies out of order, and
Right.
yeah, it's called the Tarantino order.
Yeah, which is great because you're like, why is Butch coming back for that watch? Well,
Yeah.
this is why.
Well,
Yeah.
and the debate is like, do you watch them in release order or do you watch them in chronological order? Because you're starting, in my opinion, of the entirety of the core nine, you're starting with the second worst movie, in my opinion, if you go chronological. So,
Like
Phantom
going
Menace,
like episode 1 through 6,
yeah,
you're saying?
yeah.
Okay. I would
So,
never recommend watching it that way.
exactly. So that is one option to watch it, but to me, like the second best Star Wars movie is Star Wars. That's a banger to start out with, and then you watch the second best, and then you can back up a little bit and watch episode 1, watch episode 2, enjoy the hell out of episode 3, and then go into like OG Star Wars again. And then if you want to go into 7 and 8, they did make 8 pretty good Star Wars movies.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, before I heard that, I would have always said, yeah, watch in release order. But like now, I'm gonna
Yeah.
recommend Tarantino because that is an amazing way to watch it. And
Yeah, it's fun.
when I heard you say that, I'm like, yes, I get to watch Star Wars again. You
And
know?
it's been like 2 years since I've done a Star Wars rewatch, so watching with Victoria was like like yes, this is my reason to watch, and I'm watching it in Tarantino order again because I watched it
Oh,
that way the last time I watched it with my kids, and it was fun. But
yeah, man, I love hearing people that haven't watched it, and some people it's like a point of pride. Like I've never seen it. It's like you haven't. Why are you proud of that? It's like one of
yeah,
the biggest pulp culture. You know
like
how many jokes you're missing out on alone.
it's like bragging about
Like
your virginity in your 40s, man.
which all of us Star Wars fans are know a lot about apparently.
Yeah, well,
Quiz to believe it or yeah.
yeah. Hey, we did all right.
Yeah, but the one thing that's always like the thing that I think is the biggest shame if it if it's any real shame at all, but it's like Star Wars. It's got to be in the top 5 of best reveals in cinema history, and like you get to a certain point where yeah you've never seen them, but
Yeah,
you already know,
yeah,
and it's just like
yeah.
oh like
And if
man
you
who
don't know, I think it's the best reveal.
Yeah,
I
one hundred
think that
percent.
I think that and Sixth Sense and Fight Club are the holy trinity of reveals. I don't know what can top that.
Yeah, yeah. So now I'm gonna go in a dark hole about
Yeah.
that alone. But there's so many. There's a lot of great reveals out there,
Oh,
but
there's tons. There's tons, but I don't think
it's
any top those three.
no,
Like
absolutely. I mean,
like
you can argue but like I know it's just everybody's trying to reach that reveal,
yeah,
and it can't be
absolutely.
done. It can't
Fight
be done.
Fight Club and Sixth Sense were the two movies where I'm like, oh shit, I'm rewinding this and rewatching the whole thing.
Yeah, because they're like they do it, and you at first say, "Nah," because he was talking to his mom, in The Sixth Sense. And so you go
Yeah,
back and watch it. It's like they never
yeah.
said a word to each other the whole time. And then, I mean, Fight Club would probably be number two as far as reveals goes, because I mean, and it
And
just
there's
and
so
that
many
director,
subtleties in that. The cigarette burns, the little
yeah,
slipping of the dick in the end, and um,
yeah, yeah. I love how they make that a part of the story of Tyler Durden's character that he does that, and then at the very end,
I just
bloop,
yep.
like
Did I just see
it
that?
just made. I just saw two dicks in this movie. Come on now.
Yeah, they Sixth Sense. I went and watched once the DVD came out, and I watched the special features. I learned about the color red in that movie. There's a lot of red in that movie, and if you go back and pay attention to red, red is the color of the dead. So, like
Okay.
red handle on the door or the red balloon that went up, like these different things were always some type of supernatural interference was happening when red was
Uh,
appearing.
I
So
love
just
that. I love
stuff like
those when
that.
directors do those little subtle, let you know something's happening, but you
Mhm.
don't catch it the first time you
Yeah,
watch it, and
yeah.
take somebody telling you, and you're like, "Oh, what, really?" And then it makes you want to watch it again.
I tell you, the movie that I cannot recommend highly enough to enough people who can tolerate some of the things in the movie is Poor Things with Emma Stone.
I don't think I've seen that one yet.
It's oh man, you want to talk about a director with some subtleties. They change color palettes in the movie with act
Okay.
1, 2, and 3, and there's very like the tones of the colors match what's happening with the realizations that this character is having.
Okay.
And they switched to like old school like fisheye lens they used in like science labs with early cameras, and the fisheye lens was used for when they were observing somebody. So it's when this character who is fully grown adult with an infant brain put in them. So they have the impulses of an infant with the physical urges of an adult and the strength and ability of an adult. So yeah, as she learns things, it's like we're observing her learning these things for the first time. And I a buddy of mine and I, we with all of the free time that I have, we want to do movie commentary podcasts where we watch the film
Okay.
together and just talk through it. And that's the one that I want to do because I think it's super deep. I think it's one of the best movies of the last like quarter century.
Yeah, I've heard great things about that. I saw that newer one that she's with Jesse Plemons in it. I can't think of the name of it right now, but I just saw that one last week. That one
Yeah,
was
I've
pretty
not got to
good.
see that yet, but
That
yeah,
talking about
the
twist,
director.
pretty good twist in that one too. It's
Yeah,
not like you can kind of you can kind of probably it's not as big as one as anything else, but
sure.
it's fun. It's
Yeah.
fun when you see it.
He also did a movie called "Killing of a Sacred Deer." It's also quite good. It's a slow burn and then has this ending. You're like, oh, what the fuck? Yeah, it's good.
Christopher Nolan has some great movies like that as well too, like The Prestige
Memento.
and Memento. Oh my gosh,
Did
that
Memento
movie.
come out when was I still in the Quad Cities? Did we watch Memento together?
It was already out. I think I was in high school when that came out. So that would have been a couple years before us. I think. I don't know.
Yeah,
Those years start to blur together a little bit.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, Christopher Nolan is a great director.
yeah.
None of you guys threw out in their top director video. I don't think.
Oh, I know.
Oh
We did
man,
not. I think he's a great director. I don't know if he's a favorite director. My,
yeah.
my snooty friend would say he's the best director ever.
I
Um,
think he'll change our mind when Odyssey comes out. I think that's going to be
well,
like
here
one of those movies that comes out that like is going to be like a staple in time in cinema.
the big thing, the difference for me is he doesn't necessarily he makes brilliant films. Like I would call him, we did our favorite directors, not the best directors.
That's
I'd put
true.
him on a best directors list. He's not one of my favorite directors because he's not really aiming towards me other than with his Batman movies. Like Memento,
Right.
killer. The Batman trilogy, killer. Uh, Interstellar, brilliant film. Loved it. Inception, I'm with Troy on Community. I don't understand it. I don't understand Inception. Like I've watched it 3 times, man. I'm like, what the hell? I give up. It's not for me. And it looks cool. And if you smoke some weed and chill and watch this shit, it's trippy. I like it. It's cool. But yeah, I don't even understand shit. Yeah, Interstellar was fantastic.
Oh
Oppenheimer
yeah.
was really good. It's really well done. Um,
Yep.
but whoever designed Florence Pugh's costume design should have won best costume design. She was naked in every scene.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Okay.
um,
That's how big of a nerd I am. I don't even remember that. I was like, what? She wearing like some throwback, all covered up costume, and like, no, the exact opposite. She wasn't wearing anything.
yeah. So back to Star Wars.
Yeah,
You
that was
had
a
a
rough go.
brother. Were you both into Star Wars?
No, I had two brothers. So I have a twin brother
Yeah.
who is the same age as me, if you
Mhm.
don't know what twins are. And then I have an older brother who's 5 years older. And then 14 years after I came along, I have a sister too.
Right.
But I mean, they would like, they would probably say they like Star Wars, but
Okay.
like, they
You
would
didn't
be
grow
like,
up fighting over the action figures or anything like that.
no, no, nothing like that. I don't think even I could barely get Ben's my twin, so we played, with each other the most. We shared more of like we were both really into X-Men, so we would play with the X-Men action figures a lot.
Yeah.
Um, and so we're there's things that we have similar that we both really love, but then there's things like it's kind of like, yeah, I kind of like this, and then the other person like loves it. So
Yeah.
uh, but I would say that he would probably say that he likes it, but
Yeah.
he could probably count on one hand the number of times
Yeah.
he's probably seen Star Wars would be my guess.
Okay. So
Um, but
did you
yeah,
have a group of Star Wars friends?
man, I always felt like, and maybe I was just shy and quiet. I always felt like I was the one to bring people into Star Wars,
Okay.
and other stuff that I ended up being interested in. Like I always kind of felt like I was, and it was probably just the things I was interested in, but you know, um, then you'd meet somebody. I remember I had a good friend back in grade school, a Catholic school that I went to. He started coming to our school, I think fifth grade, sixth grade, something like that. And it was a small little Catholic school, only 20 of us, the same
Hmm.
kids from kindergarten on up. So he came in, and so he's the new kid. Everybody's interested. And he says he likes Star Wars. I'm like, I like Star Wars. And we
Yeah.
became fast friends from there and all that. So he was a early co Star Wars nerd with me. Um, And then, yeah, if you haven't guessed it already, for those that you don't know, like there was only the three Star Wars movies for a
You
long
all right?
time, and that's what I was raised on
Special.
the OG trilogy. And so, you could know. I knew every line. I
Yeah.
quoted every line and things like that. And then, of course, you had the extra stuff. You had the comic books that would come out. That was awesome, so you could get a little bit more. And then they started writing
There was
a
a
book.
Marvel. It was a Marvel series at one time,
Yep.
and then it went to
Hmm.
Dark Horse.
Yep.
They had a little bit more, freedom to explore, like real story in those versus the Marvel books were more made for kids that were
Kids. Yeah.
in the movie. And it's like, oh, here's this little tale, but it's about as deep as a He-Man episode.
Yeah.
Uh, the Dark Horse
But
stuff
the
deeper, and now they're back with Marvel as they're
back.
owned by
Yeah.
Marvel. So,
I like
but
the Dark Horse stuff, but I like its return to Marvel. I like the stuff they've been putting out with that a lot. Following the main trilogy and then the offshoots, like they got the Darth Vader ones, and they do a really good job of, as all comic, Marvel has always done with their characters, of having multiple books of different characters and intertwining them. And so, yeah, you take the world of Star Wars, and especially somebody like myself, who, of course, is in the original trilogies, is always going to be my favorite, and just be able to dig in that world a little bit more and a little bit deeper and all that stuff. So yeah, I've really enjoyed it since it's come back to Marvel Comics and that. But
mm,
then even go before that, like you had the books
yeah,
that was written, and Star Wars made me read, bro.
there's a
It's like
lot of books too. As I've been
like
buying them,
yeah,
because books, man, when you buy books at Goodwill, you're paying like a buck or two for a book. So I can buy a book for $2 and sell it for like $5 or $6 and make a few bucks back towards profit for the store. Still offer a really good deal to a customer. It's way under cover price. Um, so, but there's a ton of books and so many, like the little mass market, little drugstore paperbacks. Man, there's like an unending number of those. But there was also some
yeah.
great Star Wars video games too.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, amazing. My favorite video game of all time is Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic.
Mm-hmm.
It is the best Star Wars storyline of anything except for, the original trilogy. Like its reveal is Star Wars worthy. Like what you find out, the big reveal in that game is so Star Warsy.
Yeah.
And then I got into it because it was Star Wars, and then like from that, I started falling in love with RPG video games. And it all kind of started from that as well too. So
Yeah.
you know, Star Wars was just a door to many
It's a gateway.
different things. Yeah, gateway drug to nerdom. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, the Comic Cons and stuff, I mean, a lot of that was like Star Wars helping that stuff take off. I mean, Star Wars is the original, like, nerddom collector, like, just market and everything with Star Wars. So, the, I like the Force Unleashed. I thought that was a really cool Star
Hmm.
Wars game.
That was the first one. The second one,
I never
but
played
the
the
first
second.
one, no, don't. It's bad. It's real
Yeah.
bad. But the first one,
Isn't the
yeah,
second one
that
you get to choose if you're going to be a Jedi or a Sith or something?
no, that you're thinking of
No.
Knights of the Old Republic, I
Oh,
think,
okay.
where you can choose if you're going to be light side or dark side. This was just it was rushed out. It was, I always, whenever I talk about that game, I always say the same thing. Like when you play the levels, it's almost like when you're watching Looney Tunes and you're watching characters run and you're just seeing the same screen
Yeah.
scroll in the background. That's that game. It's just overly long, repeated levels, and you only like visit. The first one you visited like six different worlds. Which was so what's great about Star Wars, all these different worlds that are in there, and all the creatures and things like that are in there. And this one, there was like only like four worlds, and one of them was like you just went back to a world that you started on. Like it was really bad, and it ends on a bit of a cliffhanger, which you never find out because it was so bad that they never made another one.
Yeah, like the Green Lantern movie.
Like the Green Lantern movie. Yeah. I don't
Oh,
even know what was the
Sinestro's going to
cliffhanger
be
on
in the
that one.
next one. Sinestro
What's
has
that?
the yellow ring at the
Oh,
end.
that's right. He puts on the yellow ring.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. You know, oh man. I mean, not to get off on something else I'm nerdy about, but you know, I'm a huge Green Lantern
yeah.
fan. And I lied to myself so long about that movie. I'm like, it's good. It's good. You know, people would say like, oh, but the baseball glove, and I was like, that's totally throwback. You know, which it is. You know, I was telling
To the
myself the
Kyle
right lies.
Rayner, maybe the Kyle
He would have
Rayner
been a good.
Lantern.
Well, I mean,
Looking
some of the
forward.
constructs he came up with was like golden age. You know, well,
Yeah,
silver age, I should say.
yeah,
Um, Green Lantern. You know, but I think
yeah.
Ryan Reynolds would have played a better Kyle Rayner. But yeah, it
I think
was
they were
it
trying
was
to create toys with everything that he created,
yeah.
but
The best thing about that movie is all the jokes in the Deadpool movies about that movie.
yeah,
So, but I'm
I'm
excited about the series that's coming out.
yeah.
That's
That's what I
that
was about to
I
say.
think
The
they.
Lantern series looks
Oh
awesome,
my gosh,
and
super excited about it.
I loved his Guy Gardner in Superman. So
Yeah,
you
I
didn't?
think it went. I think it went I mean, I knew. Obviously, I because it's Green Lantern, and I'm like, I don't want him to be the comic relief, you know. But you know,
He's a
it's
mouthy.
fine.
He's a mouthy
He
bitch.
is. He is a mouthy bitch, and I like that. It puts
Yeah,
the hair. I mean, God, that was just too
it's,
much.
it's comic
It's like
accurate.
funny. It's yes, yeah, it is. But like, it's one
Yeah,
of those things you see it and you laugh, and and I had the same thought of Thor in Endgame when you first see Dad bod Thor. You see it and it's hilarious, and you're like, wait a minute, now I have to watch the rest of this movie with this character like this. Like, can we somehow like make it change now so like the joke can be over and I don't have to deal with seeing this all movie long? So
yeah.
that's how I felt about that, I
Okay.
guess. I don't know. But you know, uh that is Guy Gardner. You're right. He didn't
Yeah,
become cool until a long time into the comic series, you
yeah,
know, until he became Warrior maybe is when they started trying to make him cool.
yeah. I mean, he's kind of the Booster Gold. Booster Gold was comic relief, and then they made him the Time Cop.
I think they should have used Booster Gold there instead. I think that would have been way
Oh,
better.
they got some plans for Booster Gold.
Oh yeah, he's got. I mean, as soon as
Yeah,
James Gunn, I was like, we're gonna see Booster Gold with James Gunn.
I
He's
want to
gonna,
see. I want to see James Gunn with Plastic Man.
yeah. Like, I'm excited about what he's gonna do. I think he's gonna get in trouble because he loves those like those deep cut characters, you know, that have a great story,
He knows
especially
how.
if there's a little bit comedy behind it.
Yeah,
I almost feel him get. I almost see him getting lost in that a little bit in his brain, but
uh,
I'm still
he knows
excited
how to
about what
build
he brings to the
heart.
whole universe.
He knows how to build heart at the core of the movie. Creature Commandos was so good. I thought he did a really good job with that. I want to see a Plastic Man, and I want to see Ben, whatever his name is. Did you ever watch Parks and Rec?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Adam, what's his
Machio
name?
Kid, the really annoying black hair, spiked
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Ralph
friends
Mott,
with
not Ralph
Aziz.
Mott. Yeah, I can't remember it.
Kind of want to watch him
Ben,
call him Ralph
Ben
Macchio too.
something. Yeah,
But
I think they called him Ralph. Uh, John. Oh my
John
gosh,
Ralphio.
whatever.
John
John Ralphio. There
Ralphio.
you go. Yeah,
Yeah. I want to see him play. I
yeah.
want to see that actor play Plastic Man.
He would be good.
Look it up. Look up his picture and just be like, oh my god, yes.
He would be good. I'm a huge. I'm a Parks and Recs nerd too. So
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, he would be great. He's a good Sonic too.
Yeah. Yeah. Um so man, we're not doing real good at talking about
I,
Star Wars, but
it was
yeah,
we're talking about everything but the thing. Yeah, we got
all
a
right.
lot of edits coming your way.
They won't get edited. We'll keep it all in, man. We'll just be talking nerdy. So we
Yeah.
covered the movies. How old were you when the special editions came out?
Oh, that's a good question. When did they come out?
It was
So
it was the 20th anniversary, so it would have been 97.
97. Okay. So yeah, I was born in 84. So yeah, so 13 years old, I guess, right? If my
Okay.
math is correct, this late at
Yeah.
night. So yeah, I remember when those come out. Oh man, I was
What'd you
such a
think about
nerd.
them at the time?
I mean, again, go back. I'm original trilogy. Again, that's all we had, and it was just more of that coming out. And I was like, some of you Star Wars nerds might remember Star Wars Insider magazine. And every Christmas or birthday, I would ask somebody that's what I want. I want a year subscription to that. So I got a little bit of the from reading the magazines when they would talk about it coming up and all that, and they'd share little pictures of scenes and talk about it. So I was very, very excited about it. Um, you know, Obviously, it's when those things come out, especially when they start using the CGI, it sticks out like a sore thumb,
Yeah.
obviously. But I was excited about it. I was happy to see more Star Wars,
Sure.
and so I was a big fan of it. Obviously, Star Wars Episode 4, had the most, and then obviously as the movies went, there's like
Yeah.
fewer and fewer things in there. So for the most part, I liked it, except, which I'm sure it's no surprise to any other Star Wars fan out there, the Greedo scene. Like,
Yeah.
hated it.
I remember
Hated
when I
it so
found that
much.
shirt. I'm like, oh man, I gotta show you this shirt, and you're like, yes, get it.
Get it?
Damn
Yeah.
right, I
Damn
shot
it.
first.
Yeah. It was a picture of Han. He said, "Damn right, I shot first." So yeah, I'm a Han Solo. Is my favorite. He's my favorite character of
Yeah.
all the Star Wars movies. Harrison Ford. I mean, what a pimp.
You seen his latest role in Shrinking?
I've seen some episodes, and then I rotate through my streaming services, to save money. So we're off Apple right now. But yeah, started Nicole actually started watching it, and she's like, "Yeah, I think you really like this." And so yeah, I
Yeah.
watched a few
So
episodes with her, and
yeah.
he's just, I mean, he's good in so much. You kind of get used to, especially when you're our age, you're used to see him as that action hero.
I
Um,
actually think this is his best role other than Han Solo and Indiana Jones. I think it's
yeah,
the best role he's ever had. And I
yeah.
realize how much weight is behind that statement, but I think he's that damn good in this show.
Yeah, it's definitely like it's bringing a whole new audience and generation around to if you didn't know who he was now or then
Yeah.
you do now in the show. Like, it's just
Yeah.
another stage of his life. He's just blowing up. It's just ridiculous.
Did you ever get to see the Christmas special?
Never saw the whole thing. No, of course.
Oh,
And I'm
you've
sure
still
I can.
today?
I mean, because of course you could find it. It's not hard to find. It's
Yeah.
on the internet.
Oh yeah.
Uh, but
Those bootleg
before
copies. I've
before
got
the
one and I've had them at the store.
yeah, that's one I'm okay with never seeing the whole thing.
It's not great, but it's
know,
fun.
it's not great at all. And at first, I know I'm kind of contradicting myself because got to the point where it was like, God, more Star Wars is great, but like I never saw it when it originally aired or
You
any of
got
the
Boba Fett though.
yeah the introduction of Boba Fett. That's right, and the Mandalore armor, and
Yeah.
the Mandalore gun. That's where that comes from for those people that don't know. But yeah, that's so. I just saw enough clips of it here and there that I was like, oof, looks
Yeah.
bad. And
It
so
was.
I never
Yeah.
had the desire. And plus, everybody says it's bad and it's not worth watching.
Yeah.
So
The scene where there's like different Wookiees like in a kitchen baking goods.
yeah,
That's
for what is it? What do they celebrate? Light Day, Light Fest, whatever it is, whatever their Christmas is.
I don't know.
But
Their war
they
on
do a
it was a war on
they
Christmas.
do a nice little they do a nice little throwback to it. There was a Lego Star Wars movie that takes place after
Yes.
like the Rey trilogy, and they
Yeah.
that's what they're celebrating in that too. And I was like, oh, that's a nice little callback.
Yeah.
Somehow the Lego movie was better than the actual first Christmas special.
So what'd you
But
think of prequels when they first came out?
prequels, so excited. Again, I was a Star Wars Insider subscriber for I don't even know how many years. I mean, and God, I wish I still had those magazines. I don't know what ended up happening to them. I'm sure. Oh, you know what? I do know what ended up happening to them. Story for another time. But yeah, so obviously, super excited about it. And yeah, when it came out, saw it in theaters, which is amazing. Going back to the special edition, that was the other awesome thing about the special edition is that was the first time I got to see it in theaters, Star Wars as well too.
Yeah.
So super excited to see it in theaters. Um, like God, and to see like Obi-Wan, like it's a young kid still training, basically.
Yeah.
So many great moments. I mean, Darth Maul. I mean, he is probably the second best villain. Um, I should, well, in my book, maybe third. My third favorite villain in all of Star Wars.
Okay.
Um, so like just seeing that, seeing a double-bladed lightsaber, like I remember seeing the trailer of that, and it just had that scene of where he's standing there, and the one side comes out, and the other side comes out, and that's all they show you, and you're just like, what? What the fuck? What is that? So I remember being so excited. I mean, that is the best. The I remember thinking about that one as like you finally get to see what a Jedi is capable of. With the original, that's really kind of with the technology and all that stuff. Uh, you saw them move rocks and things like that, and get to fight
Hmm.
some cool battles, things like that. But they really put the Force on display in those movies, which I thought was really cool. So yeah, when that first one came out, but that one, seeing that trailer, made is I think you probably remember my rule I have about movie trailers now, right?
Hmm.
Is that if it's a movie I already plan on seeing, I'm not going to watch the trailer, and
I have the same rule.
it's all because I remember thinking of when they showed that scene of Darth Maul's double-bladed lightsaber come out, and I remember thinking, how cool would that have been if the first time I saw that was in the movie
Yeah.
theater. So
Yeah.
ever since then, I have that
Yeah.
rule. If I plan on already watching it, I'm not going to watch the trailer.
Yeah. People will send me movie trailers, and I'm just like, yeah, I just, I'll, trailers are there to sell me the movie. If I'm already sold, then yeah,
Good point.
let,
Yeah,
let me enjoy the art.
yeah. If it's a movie maybe I'm curious about, yeah, maybe I'll
Especially
watch it.
now where you got things in the trailer that don't even make it to the movie. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
another thing.
that's true. That happens a lot too. Yeah, so I think that I've almost broken the rule for Marvel movies because they do a good job of throwing you off in their trailers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like no, I want
Yeah.
to see it. I want to see it on the
Yeah.
big screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's when that one came out. It was amazing. Loved it. Did I love every little bit of it? No, I think I had the problems most people had problems with on it. I don't think Jar Jar Binks was as annoying as most people think. I thought he was comic
Thanks.
relief. He wasn't any more annoying than C-3PO in my book, really. But maybe a little culturally inappropriate. But um, then episode two, oh goddamn, what a dumpster fire that was. Uh, oh man, I don't know. There's not much I can say good about that movie.
Yeah.
It was bad, you know. Um, so that was a big
Mace
shame,
Windu.
huh?
Mace Windu's kind of a
Bas-
badass in that movie.
He is, yeah. And seeing all those Jedi battle, um,
I was just
could have
trying to
been
think,
cool.
just think of good
Could have been
things.
cool.
Yeah.
They cut that real short. I think
Yes,
everybody
he
would
did.
say the best thing was seeing Yoda fight with a lightsaber,
Uh,
which was
uh,
like
uh,
it was one
I
of those things where it's like kind of like the other things. You see it and it's like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. But then you're like, wait a minute,
CGI
now this is
Yoda bouncing off the walls.
yeah. There was like now this is a part of his lore now, where he was always just the calm, just he didn't need a lightsaber. His force, he was too strong with the force. So
Yeah,
you know, yeah, when it first happened, it was like it surprised you, it kind of made you laugh, but it was kind of weird at the same time.
yeah,
The chemistry between Hayden Christensen and Natalie Portman, it was like, oh my gosh, it's terrible. It's like,
yeah.
um,
Well, he's kind of a crappy actor.
he kind of is. He kind of is. It's
Yeah,
too bad though. Leo DiCaprio was. I don't remember if he tried out or if they were asking him. I don't
yeah,
remember what the story is there. I'm like, oh, how possible that be?
yeah,
That would have been amazing. But through all of it, Ewan McGregor, I mean, amazing, amazing
yeah,
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Especially when you like hears interviews about like his method and how he'd go back and try to get Alex Genesis's cadence and his accent and all that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Hello there, like I mean, it was a throwaway line in Star Wars that he just made it epic, by throwing it in there in Episode 3. Then Episode 3 was it started where Episode 2 ended,
hmm
but got better as the movie went. And of course, it has the best lightsaber battle of
I dig
any Star
Episode
Wars.
3. I think Episode 3 is a fantastic film.
As a standalone film, I like it. How I think
Other
when you
than
get to
other
it,
than the romance stuff.
yeah, I think when you get, and most of that was in Episode 2 anyway.
Sure.
They were kind of getting away from it, and the
Yeah.
third one because they needed to get the turn going. I remember and it probably goes back to because the one thing about Star Wars, because of all these movies they put out now, there's three different trilogies. Like each generation has their trilogy, and so whatever generation you were that kid at, whatever trilogy they were on, whether it be the original or prequels
Yep.
or the newer ones, like that's your favorite,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what it's designed for. So I get it,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I think at the end of it, you end up watching it, and it's hard not to think like, has George Lucas seen Star Wars? Like,
Well,
there's the things that don't make sense, and things
that's
like
with
that.
that's with the original trilogy. Even I mean, setting up a romance between Luke and Leia just to say, "Oh yeah, they're brother and sister."
Yeah, that's
Uh,
true. Yeah. So when
yeah.
you try to look at it with try to take your own preferences out of there, that happens. There's always been those problems with Star Wars a little bit, but I think now that it's been out for so long, it's great movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll watch them without any problem. Maybe not Episode 2, but the other
So,
ones for sure.
what about the other trilogy?
Yeah, we call it the Ray trilogy in our house. So, Force Awakens, uh, that might be my third favorite Star Wars movie.
Happy to
Uh,
hear you say that. When I took my kids to see that in the theater, what a cool moment to be able to take my kids to see a Star Wars movie in the theater. I thought they were just retelling the first story, and the lightsaber battles weren't great, but they weren't awesome in the first one either. The the movie was solid. It was magical. It did
it's great.
exactly what it was supposed to do.
I
Oh,
100%,
continue.
100%. And they, I liked how they were like, even because they were obviously a lot of, yeah, she grew up in the desert, until adventure came her way and she left her home. Obviously those similarities there. They also did a good job as like, the whole mystery is not going to be who uh Kylo Ren is. We're going to tell you. We're going to tell you right here in this movie. That's not the mystery. And the mystery becomes who the heck is Ray?
Yeah,
And that's the mystery they build through the whole thing. So I really like that they did that. The story that it's Han and Leia's son who turned by while being trained by Luke Skywalker. They just set up so much excitement and promise for what was to come.
Yeah.
And then a really great director came and made a very bad Star Wars movie. Well, not, I don't want to say he made a bad Star Wars movie. He
He didn't
It
feel the
almost just seemed like
audience. It was a
he
miss.
didn't care. He didn't care. It was like it didn't carry the storyline in
He
between
had his
to the
own
first
idea.
one to the one. He did.
I mean, he talked about old things must die, and he had his own
Yeah.
idea. The blame isn't on Ryan Johnson. The blame's on Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
Like Marvel has their Kevin Feige, who is overseeing it all and says to directors, "You can do this, you can not do this,"
Yeah.
and directors have left huge paychecks and franchises because they couldn't tell their story the way they wanted to because Kevin Feige knew there was a bigger story to be told here. And we've got
Yeah.
to have some consistencies. Kathleen Kennedy did not do that.
Right.
Why would you put two different directors in charge of a connected trilogy? That is,
And I thought,
and
and I thought
technically,
when
the
they were
first
coming
Star
out,
Wars had different directors, but
sure.
Lucas was in charge. He wrote it. He was there. Yeah,
Right. And it was like I thought J.J. Abrams was even though if he wasn't directing it all, I thought it was going to be he was the boss of it all. At least when they were talking about it, that's how. And maybe I misunderstood that, which I was really excited about because I love J.J. Abrams.
hmm
I mean,
did a
his
great
TV
job.
shows, his
Star Trek.
movies, everything.
Yeah,
Star Trek was amazing. Yeah,
yeah.
when I saw it, and literally, I remember watching an interview of him talking about
Well,
Star Trek, and it's like
yeah,
we need to make it like Star Wars,
yeah.
and that's what his goal was. And so when I heard he
Well,
was going to be doing, the new Star Wars, I was like,
a
perfect
little
person to
heavy on
do
the
it.
lens flares, but
Let's-
Star Trek.
and shaking the cameras, yeah,
Yeah,
to get that natural rumble, yeah. But
yeah,
every director has their style. So some of those things I kind of like. I kind of like seeing that little tip of the hat that is that
yeah.
director's style.
The big
So that's a little
spinning
fun.
zoom shot around the heroes for Michael Bay, and
Uh, I don't like I don't think I like a single movie he's done. But
I
anyway,
like the first two Bad Boys movies.
that was Michael Bay, wasn't
Yep.
it? Yeah,
Actually, the
yeah,
actually the third one was really good too, but um, um, Seth Rogen and his partner Evan Goldblum helped with some of the writing on the third one, and that's why it was good.
yeah. And
Yeah,
plus, Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, especially in that era, like what
yeah,
a perfect team.
yeah,
But so it's and then what was it? Back to J.J. Abrams on
yeah.
the last
Piece
one,
of shit.
and I feel like he was thrown in a bad position. He had to try to
He
make
was.
something make sense that didn't make sense. They
Nope.
completely wasted Finn's character in that
Yep.
whole span.
And Poe.
Um, yeah, and Poe, absolutely Poe Dameron. God, I could go off on a tangent, and
And
and I don't want to
Kylo.
be one of those people.
I think they're
Kylo,
both
yeah,
Kylo.
yeah. I mean, it was like I like the idea of the redemption story, which I guess we got that with Darth Vader, but then we got to see him actually, you know, do a little bit more as the good guy a little bit. But like just to like, and I think the biggest thing was just I think the whole thing was just it could be summed up in wasted opportunity.
Yeah, it's a
Here you
money.
had the
It's a
original
franchise.
main cast, and you
They
never put them in a scene together.
yeah.
You
They
know,
planned
like
they planned the timing of the trilogy without having the trilogy planned out.
yeah,
And that's the definition of a cash grab is, hey, we're going to do 3 of these. We got a really good first script.
yeah. It's too bad. That's really what it comes down to, and then it makes me feel bad even for like the people involved in it.
Yeah.
Like the actors
I
and
think
and
Daisy
and like
Ridley's great, man. I think
I
she's a
thought she
great
did a great
actress.
job.
There's a
That
new
first
movie
one. They,
called We Bury Our Dead that she was in that I just I've got
oh
on
yeah,
order of movies for ordering for the store. I'm excited about seeing that.
I mean, and the chemistry that she had with the Finn character, like the chemistry they
Mhm.
had in that first movie. I mean, God, it was so good. It was so
Mm.
perfect. You know,
Yeah,
it was just a real big shame. Like, you know,
was
especially
such a
like,
waste of a character in Finn because so much promise coming out of that first one being the defect from the you know whatever they called Empire to the Rebels.
right.
Renamed it all, but essentially,
That's what it was. Yeah.
yeah.
Resistance. Yeah.
Well, just
It
like
just different
just
artwork.
kind of like MAGA and Confederates.
Right. Exactly. Nazis. Confederates, I think, is too nice for that.
Yeah, I said
Anyway,
Nazi soldier. Um,
I mean, kind of going. I mean, using even that, even though we kind of did that, that's another great theme that I think the Star Wars movies and George Lucas has always talked about, like just the whole political landscape that he was creating in
that's
all those movies, and
that,
strongest in the prequels ones, of course. But that was always purposeful. That was always supposed to be an underlying
yeah,
thing, and it was supposed to be a commentary
yeah. They
of
were
our
called
country,
stormtroopers.
right?
They were called stormtroopers.
Yeah, he
Uh,
didn't come up with that term. He didn't
yeah,
he couldn't copyright.
yeah. The political aspect. That's one of the main reasons I'm having my friend Victoria watch them because I'm like, this is the time. This is the tie. Because she's become very like politically conscious over the last decade. COVID changed a lot of people, so made you think about okay, what's going on and who's saying what and okay, um, and how are our relatives responding to this?
Oh
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
that's
So yeah, definitely changed the world there.
yeah,
So
yeah, it did.
before we go to modern Star Wars, what's I asked you about your thoughts on the special editions at the time. What's your now thoughts on the special editions?
I'm very excited that they're going to be releasing the original cuts in theaters. I haven't seen the original cuts ever. You
Really?
know? Yeah, you didn't hear about that?
I did not hear about that.
Yeah, I mean, unless it
So
was
we're
stupid
watching.
fake news that that AI targeted me on because it
Yeah.
caught me. But I did remember seeing that
Okay.
for the first time.
I thought it was in the contract when he sold to Disney that George Lucas said that they can't release the originals. Maybe because it's to a theater and not to a physical release.
Maybe I can't remember. Yeah, now and yeah, and uh, yeah, go look it up.
Okay.
Comment. Let me know if it's wrong or not, people.
Yeah.
But maybe it is fake news. I usually do a pretty good job of like, well, is this real or not? And I
Yeah.
don't remember the context of why, because that was it. George Lucas doesn't want it because the
Yeah.
special edition is his original vision is why it was like
You know what?
I don't
Darth Vader acted like an asshole for all those years. And then on the other side of the Force in the afterlife, he gets Hayden Christensen's body. Yoda gets the broken down ass joints in his 900-year-old body. You get old man Obi-Wan. Like he
and he
wants to be
aged
young. He wants to
even
be
aged
young
as the
Yoda.
Force Ghost too.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. That's not fair.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I was of course, yeah. With yeah, when they did that too, and I was like, stop changing it. You're like, stop changing it.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that shit. The
Yeah, like the like
stepping
one of my
around the boat, the stepping around the Jabba the Hutt, but the tail, and he has to step up at a weird step, and man, this
yeah.
stuff's so stupid. So with Victoria, I've got the original cuts. So I've got the specialized editions. There's bootlegs available that are high quality that you can
Oh,
watch
yeah.
the original cuts. So yeah, we're watching
Oh
the
my God.
OGs. Yeah,
One of the
So
biggest. This is a weird one. I'm sure people are gonna think like of all of them, that's the thing. Like one of the thing I always think of the most that was a change. Like that was more of like, well, why did you change that? And it's an Empire, and I don't know what the line is now. I don't know what he says, but it's after Luke Skywalker gets away and Darth Vader's walking in the hallways of Cloud City, and there's this, and the way that James Earl Jones delivers this line, she says, "Bring me my shuttle," and like I'm not going to try to do it, but it's like go watch it, like go to that part to where he just says that line, and
yeah,
the anger that he has right there, and
yeah.
then like the special edition is like, "Oh, would you bring me my shuttle, please?" You know, like it's like so calm and like. And
Alert my Star Destroyer to prepare for my arrival. Bring my shuttle.
I guess maybe George Lucas didn't want him to ever show that much emotion, but I was like, man, like that one line,
I
the
just
performance James Earl Jones brought to that one line of the anger he had at that moment, I miss hearing that.
I don't understand the painter of the Mona Lisa saying, "Had an idea later where
Yeah.
I could draw this in the background."
Well, my
You
my rule of
created a
art,
masterpiece.
yeah, I think the problem is with art. Once you release it, it's not yours anymore. It's no longer yours. It's
Yeah,
yours all the way up to the point you release it, and it's no longer yours anymore. So you can't treat it like it's yours.
yeah,
It's to the public's now. It's the
yeah,
public's. And I don't care if you never meant it to be that way or that was an accident. Like those movies were out for a long time, and to change it just doesn't make sense. I don't care that you got older and you didn't want your kids seeing a hero shoot somebody out of cold blood. That's
yeah,
why we fell in love with the character. Like, you know what I mean? And I loved, I know a lot of people didn't like the Solo movie. I did, but no, I'm a purist,
yeah,
so whatever. I like Han Solo. I'll see as much Han Solo as I can.
yeah,
But I did like how they kind of brought that back a little bit. There's that great scene at the end, spoiler, where Han does shoot first. And I thought it was a great little line if he would have said something like, "I always shoot first," or something like that. I was like, I
yeah,
wish they would have thrown a little "fuck you" into George Lucas by throwing a line like that in
yeah.
there. But like I think going back to it, the years later, it's hard. I miss my Star Wars a little bit,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think it
Next
was
time I
up to
come
him to change.
across, next time I come across the original trilogy on DVD, because they did one last printing. It was a double disc edition, where the special editions were disc one and the theatrical cuts were disc two. So next
Oh,
time I
nice.
come across those, I'll reach
I
out and
didn't
let.
know they did that because yeah, the last time, like I said, I think the only time I owned anything was when they re-released it on VHS before the special editions, and I think they still even at that point changed a couple things. I didn't add in the scenes, but I think they
The,
did some different overdubs and stuff at that point too.
the DVD that's widescreen of the original trilogy that is gold, not silver. Silver is single disc. Gold is single disc, full frame, but the gold widescreen is a double disc, and that's what you're looking for.
And you can pick that up at Nerdstalgia.
Not very often. When I get them, they go pretty quick.
Yeah, well, you let me know next time you do.
Will do. So, my thoughts are the greatest Star Wars is the Mandalorian show. I
Yeah,
think that's the greatest Star Wars. It's so good. It's so action packed. The story's told well. The characters are well defined. I loved The Mandalorian. I'm excited about
me too.
in the movie this year. Makes
Yeah,
me go back and rewatch all the show if I have time. But actually, I think I only watched the first two seasons, like most of America.
yeah,
Well, you had that weird
yeah,
Boba Fett season in there, and then they released it finally, and it was like 3 years since season two. Season three's coming out, and it's like, what
yeah. I
happened?
don't know. I don't know what this new like fad in television shows, especially streaming. The whole idea is like you make them quick, you put them out there, like Stranger Things. Like, oh my God, how many years was it in
They're
between?
putting too much production into TV shows,
Yes,
and it's the
yeah,
death nail of TV, is not having schedules. So having to
yeah,
season out every year.
I think so. But yeah, going back to the Mandalorian, like I agree. I thought that was great. It's telling a story right after the fall of the Empire, which is a not, in the books they explore that, quite a bit, but not, not in the new cinematic universe that Star Wars is. So I love that. I love, being a fan of Westerns. I love the whole Western vibe. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a Western. If you've ever watched a Western,
Yep.
that's what that is. It's a
Bad
Western.
guy who's
It's
taken over the
amazing.
city that nobody can stand up to, and then you find this one person, and he's a diamond in the rough that's going to take out the bad guy. That's a
Yeah,
Western,
and
girls.
it's just true. He rolls into town. It's not like he's in the same place every episode, same city or whatever. He rolls into this village or this planet.
Mhm.
That he's there for solves one big problem that they have, and then hits the trails on his trusty razorback.
Yeah.
And so it's so cool. I think, yeah, I agree with you 100%. It's definitely been the best thing that's come out, since Disney took over, for
Yeah.
sure.
How's the bunch of the other shows that are streaming? Bad Batch, Skeleton Crew, Visions. Have you watched those?
No, I haven't. I started to watch the Clone Wars when it came out. It just got, I don't know, it got too grueling to watch almost. It was, uh, it was, it was making money. It was popular, so let's keep making seasons. Oh, people aren't interested anymore. Okay, let's end it. Well, nobody cares because nobody's watching it anymore.
Try being a wrestling fan right now. It's on 7 days a week.
God,
There are there are 3 days. There are multiple shows. Like if you watched all of like the first run wrestling, like WWE has 4 shows a week. AEW has 2 shows. Then you have TNA, JCW, ROH, and NWA. NWA doesn't always put out episodes, but those are all ones that put out pretty regular weekly television shows.
gosh, it's just too much.
Yeah.
You're asking
It
too much
is.
of your fans. Yeah, at that point.
Well, it's
And so
because
yeah,
it's the
how it kind of
alternative wrestling too, because WWE, they've done a good job. You got like 2 big brands in Raw and SmackDown. Their other 2 shows are developmental shows. So you got
right.
NXT and Evolve, and you've got LFG, which is kind of a reality show, kind of like Tough Enough, but
Okay.
it's not. It's not like Tough Enough, but it's young people starting out. They're NXT signees, and they're trying to see. They're prepping them to get them ready for that roster. So they've got 2 tiers of Farm League with Evolve and NXT, and then the LFG is kind of a side project. So they all
Right.
have their different things, and they try to make plenty of content so people don't have time for the alternative brands. But you've got your alternative brands that offer something very different. JCW is Violent J from Insane Clown Posse, Juggalo Championship Wrestling.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I went to a show, man. It was a lot of fun, and there's some big names on there.
I followed it for a long time. And obviously, the Attitude Era, and the Monday Night Wars, like that was I was a junior higher, during all that stuff,
Yeah,
so I was the target audience. It was just so
yeah.
great. But yeah, it just becomes grueling. Like somebody who didn't have cable, I'd have to go to a friend's house or whatever to go watch it. It's
Now the nice thing is you don't have to watch everything, man. You can just watch YouTube recaps, watch highlights.
yeah,
matches. It's kind of nice to
And
do that.
I just remember thinking because I think it was probably when I started becoming friends with you. You were starting to be like, "Hey, man, you should get back into it. A lot of cool stuff's happening." And it's nice when you have like a friend that can kind of bridge the gap of, okay,
Yeah,
what's the last episode you saw? You
yeah,
know, like where are you at? You know,
yeah. You watch some
but
TNA
like,
with me, man. Watch some Dudleys and
oh, the Dudleys. Yeah, that's right.
yeah,
I remember TNA. Yeah, what was the one that Samoa Joe was on? What league was that?
ROH.
ROH. Yes, Ring of
Yeah,
Honor. That yeah, I did like that stuff in those days. That was
yeah.
always cool watching with you for sure. But
A
yeah,
lot
it's
of
one of
it
those
good
things. If you're
AEW.
out of it for a little bit, you got it. There's a lot of catching up to do. You know,
Yeah.
and so
Yep.
that's I think that's the downside of things like that. And so that kind of going back to like those Star Wars, Clone Wars. I got to the point where I was a couple seasons behind, and then it'd been such a long time since I've seen them. I was like, I better rewatch, and I'm watching them, and I'm just like bored as I'm watching them. They're not exciting to me anymore. So I always tell people there was those Clone Wars shorts that I think Cartoon Network was putting out,
Hmm.
um, which was kind of I love those. I thought those were great. I got those on DVD. They were so good that George Lucas basically said, "Yeah, why don't you guys lead it up into Star Wars Episode 3," which they did. Led all the way up to the opening scroll of Episode 3, which I thought was really cool. So those ones, I'm like, yeah, if you want some Clone Wars action, watch those. They're great. They're short, action packed. They tell great stories,
Yeah.
and so I really like those a lot.
So I bring up all those recent shows like Vision and Bad Batch, Alkalite, Tales of the Jedi, Empire Underworld, because these are the types of things you can get at Nerdstalgia. So maybe you can't afford all these streaming services and you want to have access to Star Wars and want it on physical media. We import them from countries and they are region free, so you are able to watch them and own them on physical media. We also have many of the books we've been talking about, video games we've been talking about, the movies themselves, action figures, all kinds of collectibles. We've got some artwork in the store, some autographed artwork that's been done. So if you're nerdy about Star Wars, we've got something, whether they are modern retro play or if you're looking for like vintage stuff. I've got a vintage TIE fighter we just got yesterday from Return of the Jedi and its box. Um, I've got a couple of 1978 figures in the store, so we can definitely show you some stuff that'll blow your mind. Come in and take a look, and let us know kind of what you're fascinated about when it comes to Star Wars. Um, so check out our store. You can check out the website at nerdstalgia.shop, any of our socials at nerdstalgia shop. And if you are in the area and wanted to visit our store, if you are nerdy about video games, we have a Smash Brothers tournament that is coming up on the 28th of February. So you can send us a message on those socials or at the bottom of nerdstalgia.shop and we'll get you details on that. But yeah, we've got so many things to talk about. We could go all night. But
It's
we got
late.
to start wrapping up a couple things because it's even later where you're at out in the old Midwest. So let's talk about why you're so passionate about Star Wars. What was it that hooked you, and why is that the one you've loved all these years?
I think what makes a good Star Wars is a story. The sci-fi aspect of it is just you know the back aboard of it all. I think a good Star Wars is a good story. I mean, and we already kind of talked about you don't get a better story than the OG Star Wars, the original trilogy. And then I think what makes the other media, video games, books, I think they follow that tradition. I think the other things that are good Star Wars is a good story. I think that's what it is. It's a good story told in space. It's a good Western told in
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
And so to me, that's what is always going to be the draw of it. People who understand that, they make great stuff. Going back to everything we talked about, Force Awakens, the video games, the books. That's it for me.
Yeah. A well-defined character and motives for why one person wants to do bad and one person wants to do good. And especially when that person doing the bad in their mind thinks they're doing good. And, Darth Vader, you can go with Darth Vader or Joker. I don't think there's a better villain than either of those two.
Yeah,
Like, Lex Luthor's up there when he's written well. Of course, in 85, they just turned him into Trump. So, I mean, it was easy to show him as a villain when he's a evil businessman. But well-defined characters, and they do that well. Darth Vader, there's a reason he snapped. There's a reason he turned to the dark side. There's a reason why these people are fighting, standing up, giving their lives to stand up against the Empire. Uh, yeah, they're great characters, great story.
yeah. And there's a character for everybody too. Like, everybody's gonna have a different favorite character. Some people like the baddies.
And
My
they've made
son,
an action figure of everyone.
that's right. The guy that carrying the ice cream maker in Cloud City. You want him? They made an action figure of him, which you can get at Nerdstalgia.
Many of them, yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Man, that was my favorite when I saw that they actually made that figure. I was like, there ain't nothing Star Wars won't try to market,
nope,
man.
not at
Yeah,
all. Yeah, I mean, wrestling figures are getting there because not only every wrestler, but like their different gear from different
different
events.
outfits. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, when they won this title, it comes with this belt, and oh, it's ridiculous. So we've kind of already covered this, but it's the traditional question I ask. If somebody wanted to get into Star Wars, where would they start?
Uh, Tarantino method, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Good. Do S- Star Wars: A New Hope. If you don't know about thinking about Star Wars, look for Star Wars: A New Hope.
yeah,
Uh, Empire Strikes Back. Go back, watch episodes 1 and 2 and 3.
yeah,
I would say I would even add in. Let's throw in the if you can find it, the Cartoon Network shorts
yeah,
before episode 3 as well too. That's always kind of fun. And then go back to Return, and then go see the new ones. Still see them. It's a bummer. It's a bummer what happened to them.
yeah.
Um, but it's more Star Wars. It's still some great characters, and
I
you can
also,
join the debate on whether you liked them or not.
yeah, I also kind of wish we would have started with Rogue One. I think that would have been a fun movie to start with, and then go into
Rogue
Star
One.
Wars. Yeah,
Rogue One's great. I love Rogue One.
yeah, did a really good job.
Uh, I mean, gosh, I mean, yeah. Then if you like that, then go. You can go ultra nerdy. Then
I,
get into
I think that's
Andor.
like the second time you watch through, you start with Rogue One.
Yeah. Well, no, that you guys start with Andor if you're going to do that.
Oh, okay, yeah, I haven't
You got to
watched it.
start with Andor. You haven't
Yeah,
watched Andor?
no, I haven't.
Oh, dude. I mean,
Yeah,
so this is Star Wars
I got a copy
really
of
putting on display. Huh? What's that?
I've got a copy sitting over there. I'll
Yeah, it's really putting on the political aspect of the
oh,
Star Wars story. I like
okay,
to say, especially in this environment and right now, uh, you got to watch it. And so,
okay,
so,
all right.
so yeah, go nuts. Yeah, do Andor, do Rogue One, do no, or Solo. I guess technically start with
Yeah,
Solo, or you can
yeah,
go even the Acolyte. Oh man, there's lots of ways you can watch it if you want to get super
Yeah,
nerdy with it. So
yeah,
we got to put a list of the true way to the true Tarantino way to watch it.
yeah.
Maybe we'll come up with a list and you can post it later because
But
that would
the
be fun.
whole the Tarantino whole bloody affair. Um, well, yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, that would be fun. But yeah, I mean, just start with those. You start with the main movies, and you'll get the what's into it, and you'll either like it or you won't. But at least you'd finally seen it, Victoria. You know, we get some more jokes, get a little bit more pop culture references, get a few questions right in Jeopardy maybe once in a while.
her husband's more of a Star Trek guy, so
That's where she
not that she
comes
watches any of that either.
I never. I watched Generations when I was a kid. When that was
Yeah,
out. I did
yeah.
like that.
I have a lot of respect for it, but I've never sat down and watched the entire original series or anything.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I
good
mean,
chunk of the
it's one of
movies.
those ones hard to watch. The old ones are a little hard to watch these days and age.
You want to
A
talk
little
about some
bit.
political backstory, though, man, about civil
Yeah,
rights and understanding cultures that are different than yours. That's what I love about sci-fi, man. They really
yeah,
go deep.
yeah. And I think and I might be wrong, but I think I remember hearing like that was the first time a white man and a white woman kissed on
Uh,
camera for a TV show or something like that.
black woman, white man. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
First
I
kiss.
mean,
And he
I
was
mean,
under a
hats off.
spell, so he did it unwillingly.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's,
but it was
okay.
the first one. It was very cool.
That doesn't make it as cool, I guess. But yeah,
Well,
but
it
yeah,
was as progressive as it could be for its time, and I
yeah,
mean, you had character. You had George Takei, who was a gay man, um, on there, and yeah, it was a very progressive show. That's why one
it
of the
really
pins
was.
that I have is the Star Trek logo, and it's a pride flag, like the pride colors on there.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Anybody that wants to bitch about Star Trek going woke, I'm like, let me talk to you about some nerd history.
yeah. No kidding.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a great universe that they created. That's for sure.
yeah,
I mean, it's easy to see why they have so many different Star Trek shows and movies and things like that. Because just I mean, the reason it gets compared to Star Wars a lot, even though they're completely different, but they both created this entire literal universe
yep,
where anything is possible and you could explore any type of planet, and
yep,
so it's a lot of stories to tell,
yep,
and that's the cool thing about going back to Star Wars. There's a lot of stories you can tell
yep.
that spans a galaxy far, far away.
Still ready to see that Star Wars movie with no lightsaber. They've talked about that,
What?
making a Star Wars movie with no lightsaber, just to show a different part of the galaxy.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
isn't that? Well, I guess technically Mandalorian has the dark saber,
yeah,
and I guess we do see Ahsoka with lightsabers eventually. So yeah,
yeah.
that would be great. Oh yeah, with who is it? With what's his butt from the Notebook?
They've changed a lot of the
Starfighter.
plans on what they wanted to do because
I
a
think
lot
it
of things fell
was
apart.
Starfighter. I think was the one. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
they were
Kathleen
talking about
Kennedy.
doing a Ben Solo movie too, which I think
Yeah,
has been scrapped at this point too. So
Kathleen Kennedy's finally gone, so they're going to put somebody else in charge of it, and that's smart.
yeah,
She's done that forever
I,
ago.
I think they got themselves kind of stuck in a weird spot since those last movies. They don't really know where to go, and I think the
Yeah,
best thing to do is don't try to connect any dots.
yeah,
Just t- tell your own story. You don't even have to tell if it's before or after the original Star Wars stories. You
that's
don't
what's
even
great
need to
about
know.
Mandalorian.
Don't need to know. Don't tell us when it is. Don't have to bring up any characters. They don't have to be related to each other at all.
Yeah,
Just come up with a good story, and put it in that galaxy far, far away, and it'll be great.
yep. Well, Dan, thanks for joining me. I think this is
Yeah,
officially the longest one, but
I know. That's what happened.
that's hey, that we barely get to talk, and talking
Yeah,
nerdy is fun. So
yeah. Plus, we're both big nerds about too many different things for us
yeah,
to stay on topic too.
that too. Well, it is officially midnight here, which means it's 1 a.m. there, and I am tired, and I am Mr. No Days Off right now. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, nerds, until next time, make sure you come say hey at the store, subscribe, like, share, comment, all the things we need you to do to help us get this channel in the algorithms. Check out w.gg, use the code word Nerdstalgia, and until next time, thanks a lot, and we'll talk to you later.
May the force be with you.